Hey YouTube, I'm Jacob Beach at the Preppers Bunker Outdoors, and what I'm here to do today is show you why the Super Khuk chops so well. Let's get into it. One of the things that really makes the Super Khuk good at chopping is this ultra thin edge, as you see here. It really lowers the surface area of blade as it hits the wood and will sink much more deeply. And not only that, but as you see here, this large belly also reduces surface area, so less of the very thin blade is in contact with the wood at any time. Makes it bite extremely deep. This is only possible while retaining the strength because the steel that we used, ADCRV2, is so tough. Now on an axe, you'll notice that the edge is much thicker. This makes axes much stronger than a knife, and allows them to use more cost-effective steels. This is actually a fairly thin edge for an axe, but you'll also notice that with less curvature on the blade, you have more surface area going into the wood, so it's not quite as efficient. So what I did here is I started chopping with the hatchet first, and I chopped the smaller diameter section of the log. The reason that I did that is because I know that people are going to be complaining about an unfair comparison or something like that. And I'm not really comparing the Super Khuk and this particular hatchet at this point. You can see a lot of comparisons on my YouTube channel elsewhere where I control the variables and stuff. That's not what I'm doing here. All I'm doing here is I'm simply showing that the Super Khuk can in fact do a hatchet's work. Probably better than most hatchets, and in my mind, I would say definitely better than most, if not any, tomahawk. What's really nice about the Super Khuk while chopping is that my hand never fatigued, which it absolutely did with the hatchet. The handle geometry is very nice. I had no hot spots, no blisters, anything like that. And I think what's really special about it is that thin edge, when you start getting tired, you can really just let the weight of the blade do the work, and it's really going to chop down through some stuff. And you'll notice here that while I'm chopping, I actually have the ability to precisely shave pieces of wood off of either side. I do it quite a few times to give myself more room to chop into. But the way that the Super Khuk cuts into the wood is just like a razor. And the most important part about that is when you're really tired, when it's wet out, when it's already dark out, when you're stressed, when life is really difficult in a survival situation, you want a tool that's going to work when you need it to work, when you're not at your best. And that's what the Super Khuk is absolutely designed for. When I got done chopping, I used the chopping portion of the blade to do a feather stick. The blade was still incredibly sharp. I would feel comfortable skinning any game or doing any other tasks that I needed to do, even with that section of the blade which is designated for chopping. The belly, more towards the tip, is usually what I would use for skinning or anything else, and then closer to the choils, what I'd normally use for these feather sticks. But regardless, the knife held an incredible edge and just kept on working. The ADCRV2 that we're using is a really incredible steel, and I'm confident that you're going to really start seeing and hearing a lot about it. Alright guys, so this is not one of my versus videos, as you can tell, where I control all the variables. This video's sole purpose is to show you that the Super Khuk chops very well and why. Nothing happens on accident. No knife performs flawlessly for a reason that nobody can figure out. And on the same foot, knives that perform very poorly do so for a reason also. I designed this knife to come with me to Vancouver Island on a loan. I didn't get picked at the boot camp, but this knife is supposed to be very versatile and be able to take the place of a knife, hatchet, saw combo. I do not recommend taking any knife in the place of a hatchet, saw, knife combo, because bringing one option to rely on is foolish. I like to bring this knife with another medium-sized knife. That way both knives can perform a bit of each other's tasks. If every tool is a one-tool option, then no matter what happens, you'll find a way to make that tool work. Overbuilt is better than underbuilt in an emergency situation. With that being said, I can take this knife and a medium knife and still save ounces as compared to a quality hatchet, small knife, and saw, and I feel very comfortable doing so. I really put my heart into this blade, and I think when Ross and I make and design a knife, we want that knife to compel people to get out in the woods and to really use it. And I saw that the other day when one of our first Super Khuk customers went out and chopped a full tree down. Not just a little tree, a full-sized standing tree. So that's what we want to instill in every one of these blades. We want people to buy these and not put them up on a shelf, but be motivated when they hold the knife to get out and use it. I hope that that's what all of our Super Khuk buyers do. I hope that they are all motivated to get out into the bush. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I look forward to talking to you guys in the comments section. If there's anything that you want to know, let me know. And pretty soon I'll be doing a video explaining why this knife excels at batoning, and another video covering why this knife excels at fine work. So stick around, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.